Welcome to another Chit Chat Sunday. Hello and welcome to Michelle's Life on Repeat. It is another day and I am thankful that I have breath in my lungs today to breathe. It's been a hard week for me. I think we all go through those weeks where you just you try and you just can't muster up the feeling of being strong enough to do anything. And I'm not talking physical, because it's not a physical exhaustion, it's just a mental draining. And if you can relate to what I'm talking about, well, let's talk some more here. Welcome to another Chit Chat Sunday. Like I said, this week has been a hard week for me. I have, we've mentioned it in a couple of other videos where we as a family unit are just circling around the airport trying to get the tower to say it's time to land. And we haven't gotten there yet. My husband is looking into a new job, which would most likely take us on a move somewhere within the United States or possibly out of the United States. We don't know nothing, and that is hard. If you've ever been in that situation where you wait and you know that you can't push any doors open, you can't pull any doors open, and as my husband always says, it's easier to pull a chain than it is to push a chain. And so we are waiting, and we have been waiting for quite a long time, which has put my orchid purchasing on hold, because who wants to pack up all those orchids and transport them? So that has been on hold. So not only do I not get my orchid fixed, the excitement of a new orchid arriving, it's just an odd thing to contemplate life. So what we have been doing, or what I have been doing, is listening as best I can as to what God might be saying to me regarding this whole season that we're in. Now, I know not every one of my viewers believes in a universal God. That's your opinion. That is okay. What I'm trying to portray to you is that I have been listening and waiting for directions, on what to do. And the only thing I can physically hear to do or attempt to do is get ready to move. What does that mean? Well, for me, I've been thinning out closets, school books, textbooks, things that the adult kids left behind, packing them up and parting with them, or trying to sell them on eBay, or, taking them to the secondhand Goodwill store. I've been busy doing that. I wrote things down to where I don't need 15, I don't own 15, but I don't need huge quantities of extra linens. So paring things down to, maybe 2 sets for our bed and 2 sets for the guest bed, that should be sufficient. So I've been going through my cupboards, going through my supplies. I've been thinning things out, doing that, and just waiting and waiting. And for sign language, one of the signs is waiting, is like you're just waiting. And that's what I feel like I'm doing. Just waiting for this, waiting for that, waiting to move forward in life. And it's kind of got me blue, kind of not depressed it's got me lower, like a depressed, but not depression. I'm not into depression. I'm just stagnant, and I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling of being stagnant, not having a purpose, not having something to do. You know me, I'm all about keeping my hands and my mind busy. So I have made many loaves of bread, but it's what I do to keep me busy. That and watering my orchids, and I've been working on my craft books, my genealogy books. Finish a few of them off and put them away in the cupboard, thinking they'll go in a big box and get passed on someday. But I had an auntie and uncle come visit me, and they passed on some hats to me, and so I was like, oh, I'll try them on with you guys. Yeah. I've got this cute little one. This was from my auntie. I have two aunties, and one passed away a year ago. I like this one. You know, it just, you're thinning out and people bring you stuff. This is a nice big one for working in the sun out in the garden. And that's what I hope. I hope if we do have to move, it's a sunny place where I can do some gardening outside. I've told you, if you remember any of my videos from the outside, that a lot of shade where I live. A lot of shade, a lot of squirrels that dig up what you're trying to do. This one, not so sure. It's just a little too much for me, I think. It's got to have the right attitude to go with that one. Knowing what your next place will be, it's like, do we need the snow gear? We've been passing on the box of snow boots, snow suits, and all that from house to house. We used to live in the snow country. Woo, yeehaw! Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Yeah, I don't think I'll wear this one. That was fun, seeing my auntie's hats and whatnot. But it's hard to know what to keep, what not to keep. And if you have done moves multiple times like we have, we're pretty thinned out. But yet still, there's always stuff to go another layer deeper. And that's kind of what I'm doing to keep my hands busy. What is it that you have been doing lately? There's so much going on in the world and in people's jobs. Are you back to working in an office and not at home anymore? Are you retired, fully retired, and you're just living the dream? Are you growing those orchids? Are you plugging on with your hobbies? I'd love to hear about it. I am thankful. I know that most of my viewers are 55 and older, and if you don't qualify under the 55 and up, you're still more than welcome on my channel. And whatever I offer that you think is worthy, I thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given me over the years. It has been now, I think today is officially my second year. That's 28th of February, I believe, and that is when I popped up my first video, and it was about my chronic illness and living alone in the house. I have a spouse. I don't live alone, but emotionally you're alone because you're so distant from everybody. Your chronic illnesses keep you housebound, or they keep you from breaking commitments and appointments that you want to get together with your friends, and even getting involved in groups, crafts, community projects. So very hard when you are unpredictable with your health. And that probably is the word of the last 10 years for me, unpredictable. But I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to say, no, it may be unpredictable, but I am going to pursue, I'm going to find things to do, gonna keep my hands busy, gonna keep my heart centered on the things that I can center it on, and not try to worry about all the things I have no control over. And it's easier said than done. So I have been growing the orchids, of course. Some of them have bloomed, and you can see them around me. I've put most of my blooming orchids downstairs so we can both enjoy them for the long hours of the days that we're sitting around reading our books. And I remember last time I told you about my Kindle Paperwhite that I got. I love it, love it, love it, especially at night when I can't sleep, which you know how that happens when you have chronic illness. Yeah, and medicines that keep you awake. I wanted to share with you the top 3 books that I've just finished reading, or I still am reading. And my husband made a list for those of you who might like things completely different than what I like. The first one was The Mystery of Mrs. Christie. by Marie Benedict, and it's a story about Agatha Christie before she became Agatha Christie, and she married Mr. Christie, and it's a mystery. She goes missing to that she goes missing, and then they have to solve this mystery on why she went missing. But it was all set up and planned by her to expose her husband in the cheating scandal that he was involved in. So it was a very good book that I recommend. The second one I finished reading is called Impossible to Forget by Imogen Clark, or Imogen Clark, maybe that's how you pronounce it. And it's for adults going backwards in time from their college days at university, and how the four of them met in the 80s, and now they are all brought together because one of the members has passed away, and in her will she asked each one of them to be sort of an executor over the different areas of their daughter's life that she left behind. And it's very, very good. It was a good, fictional book, but you can envision it as if it, because it was my generation, it was like going through college in the 80s, and then now at present day. And I enjoyed that one. It was a good, easy read. And then the third one that I'm presently started, just a couple days into it, is called Papa's Last Words. They Lied About God. And it's by R. Ben Shalom. And he is talking about, he's writing a book to pass on to his children about what he's learned from the Jewish Orthodox religion that he's been his whole life embedded in, and the Christianity version of God, and how they wrote the books of the Bible and the accurate literature and the proper wording of names and the meanings and how they change. And it's just really, really good. So far, I feel like it is a Papa writing to me about things I never really understood, because I don't know Latin and Hebrew and Greek and the old languages that when I read something, I generally take it at face value. That's just who I am. A lot of people call it naivety, but I like to take people at face value. And unless they prove me wrong, that's how I look at life. Unless they give me reasons to believe they are not telling the truth. And then you really don't want them in your life at that point. My husband's picks for books, he's read 5 that he just loves. One called Over the Edge of the World by Lawrence Bergreen, Bergreen. And it was about Magellan. That's all I got out of my husband. It was about Magellan. I'm like, okay, yeah. So that was one he loved. The second one was called Astoria, and I think it's about Astoria, Oregon. And I didn't catch the author. I'll have to look these up and put them on the screen for you. The second one was Kim by Kipling, and it was about a street urchin boy brought up into the spy craft in India. That's an old classic, so many of you may have already read it. The fourth one he just finished, and said he finished it in a couple of days. It was so good. The Cruel Sea by Nicholas Montserrat, about a World War II England and the making of a ship and the battle testing of the battleship. And the fifth one he loved was Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. And I know it's a movie that's out presently while this video is being made, but I haven't read the book, and so he's like, hurry up and read the book so we can watch the movie. So I gotta hurry up and read the book. But those are some books that we've been reading in our household. How about you? Do you have a book that you love, recently read, or you would recommend? Drop it in the comments down below for my viewers, for myself, for others to learn. What? I got a pebble under my foot. That's what you do when you're standing barefoot in your orchid room. You get little pumice stones under your feet. Drop me a comment. Let me know what book you're enjoying at present, whether it's audio or one that you read. I'd be glad to look it up and add it to my list of things to read. Pretty soon, every day I wake up and I look and I think, oh, they're going to pop open any day, but they haven't. popped open yet. That'll be exciting when those do open up. It'll be the first time for me seeing dendrobiums that come off of a cane with their flowers like that. I didn't winter rest them last year, and so this year I did, and I have some flowers ready to be bloomed. I wanted to update you also on the third area or fourth area of my life. We did books, we did just everyday life, but another area of my life is the migraines. They are doing phenomenally better, which is always a good thing. I went to my last doctor's appointment with my neurologist, and I said, things don't seem to be working. Still getting 20 migraines a month. He says, here we go. And he rolled the dice out for me. He says, we got some options. Don't give up on yourself yet. We got some options. And he laid out 4 options for me, which was wonderful. And I got to think it through, make my own decisions on what I wanted, and we came up with a plan. But one of them he mentioned was Namenda, which is a medicine used for dementia. And I've had other doctors recommend that too, that sometimes it's known to decrease your migraines. But there's always side effects. The third one was a antidepressant, which I'm not opposed to, but I think it was called Effixor, something to that effect. And I thought, well, what are my other options? The third one, I can't remember what it was. We didn't choose it. Well, maybe if it pops up to me, I'll put it on the screen. Fourth one is the one that I chose, and that is the Quilipta. And it is a new one on the market. Insurance won't cover it. So he submitted it anyway through their Quilipta program, where they give you 2 free months free. It came to me in the mail, and I have been taking that probably about 20 days now, maybe. And I am not waking up with migraines. I think I have only had 3 migraines in the 20 days, which is a lot less than what I used to have. And when I take the pills that abort the migraine, within 3 hours, it's gone. Whereas before, it would be an all-day thing. It would rebound, it would come back, and the nausea would be there all day. So I'm excited. So I've been on Quilipta. It's been working great. I've been able to lower my blood pressure medicine down from 120 to 80 milligrams, hoping to go down to 40 this next week, and then eventually go off of it, so we can see how successful just the Quilipta will be in my body as preventing the migraines. The migraines, while I've been on Quilipta, have been down in the 4s maybe. It's mostly more nausea than it is the actual head pain. So I'm excited that it's something that is working new for me. And like he says, we're not out of options. If this, 6 months down the road doesn't work, we're going to try other things. So I'm excited for that. I just wanted to share that with you. I know you guys are so encouraging, and you express your sadness when I do have to suffer through migraines, and I appreciate that compassion that you share with me. But if you are suffering from migraines, talk with your doctor. Find out what else you can try that is out there. And I wish you well in that journey, because it's a long one, but you got to be persevering in order to get through all of the trial and error, and this works and that doesn't work. And I understand it's exhausting on the body and the mind. I haven't anything new happening really in the orchid room, so my videos on orchids have been rather slim. But I look forward to some care collabs coming up, and I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. I wish you wellness and peace no matter where you're at in the world. And if you're struggling with a chronic illness, I wish you comfort, and I wish you friendship with someone that can connect with you and you feel not so alone. Thank you for being a part of my life on this 2-year journey on YouTube. Until we talk again, bye-bye.